Good afternoon. Welcome back. It's Saturday after our big verdict. So I have two things. I thought we might kind of debrief just a bit together, and then shortly just talk about a peek of what's coming. And from the comments I've read, which you guys are amazing, I love this community. I really learned that most of you are very knowledgeable, and many are pretty amazing web sleuths. So reading your comments, I get a chance to learn and go back to see maybe what you've recommended. So the group learning aspect of crowdsourcing is just beyond my highest hopes. So I sold out all the flowers, and today I went and got, this is Japanese mint. I'm not sure if you can see it. I have lots of it, and so I picked just a few. Snapdragons were starting. If you can see that one, it's called Black Prince. I think this one's Apple Blossom. I really like the colors on that one. Put it in front of the light, maybe you can see it. And these are just Queen Anne's lace that are everywhere. They grow, they're native here. I believe that's Apple Blossom, but if it's something else, let me know. You flower farmers are incredible. I'm getting to learn so much. So, debriefing is something that I'm learning the importance of, kind of winding down and talking with your friends and family and the community, because it's so exciting, on the verge of justice. The last few years I've become quite a justice fan, and it's sort of my entertainment. And it's incredible how peers that are selected by both attorneys, both sides, the defense and the prosecution, from random people, actually really pay attention and try to process all of this information. I'm impressed they're able to stay so quiet for that many hours, and then again, and not talk to each other about what's going on until they get to deliberate. So I've been selected for jury before, and I was, how do I say it? I was actually fairly excited and thought, okay, I'm going to serve the community. It's my chance. Even though I think I was contracting with speech therapy at that time, so I took a hit financially, but it wasn't a big thing because it only lasted for 2 days. The first day was selection, and they asked a million questions, and we had, in that trial we had 350 or so people that were summons for jury duty, and I kind of felt honored that I was selected. So for the 12, and then we had alternates, but those knew, in our county they knew that they were alternates. But on the second day, we had just began. There was a lot of waiting, jury waiting room. Got to talk about anything else, have a few snacks. And then when we were about to begin and starting with opening, I think they call them arguments, opening arguments. But it's where they start telling you about where, the attorneys, you guys already know all this. So in my experience, right after that happened, the jury was sent out, so we didn't know why. And then the jury was brought back in. We were brought back in about 45 minutes later, and the defendant had asked to accept the previous deal that was offered, and I felt like he was pretty nervous about going through the trial when he saw what the prosecution was presenting. So my experience was pretty short. Now let's get to debriefing. I've found that when something's very exciting in a worldwide kind of joint effort to seek justice and seek the truth, send information to our investigators, especially it made a ton of difference with the Gabby Petito story, to see that someone was camping and it was just their live video stream driving up to their campground and actually saw that vehicle. It is, if you already know the story, it is sad, but that gave the link to help investigators start searching in a particular area, because the Yellowstone National Park is huge. I don't know how many, probably several thousand acres. Bodies could get lost there and never found. And that may have happened to Gabby Petito's body if we didn't have that inside person that had videoed their camping experience. So I'm quite grateful. And with the debriefing, I just kind of spend some time thinking through it, especially when we don't get the verdict that we're hoping for, kind of going through my mind and calming down and looking at all of the facts and with a calmer state of mind. So if you're a debriefer, let me know, and you might give us some tips for our community. I'm messing with my clothes, but I think my mind is a little clearer today. We'll see. So debriefing, let me know how you do it and what kind of tips that you might have. Or if you haven't thought of debriefing before, it helps us to understand as a community and find the best way to process through these things. Now, what's to come? We have a lot that's actually to come. Now, it's going to be several months out. But you probably already know the trial that Lori Vallow will be extradited to Arizona to face charges from the death of Charles Vallow. We have a lot of documentation that he was seeking for help from law enforcement. And, you know, it would have been nice if they could have gathered the information before he was killed. But fortunately, he transferred his life insurance to Kay Woodcock, his sister, which again spurred on this ferocious, I know they're calling it the storm, which changes my perception. And I have to kind of back up from that, because actually it's more of a deadly hurricane that I guess might have started with the storm and adding in the hurricane that brings so much devastation that we see. So I think I'm going to think of it as that. And we have that on tap. I believe it's going to take, I'm not sure of the date, we may not have the date, for her to be extradited to Arizona to face charges for the conspiracy. I don't know if it's the direct murder, but the conspiracy to kill Charles Vallow. And then after that, it looks like we're going to get to go to trial for the attempt on Brandon Boudreaux's life. A few inches in a different direction and that bullet could have killed him in a heartbeat. So we're going to learn more about Melanie Boudreaux-Pawlowski and her culpability. So after this trial, I kind of expect that she's going to totally cooperate with everything and try to find a way to not be a party to the conspiracy. But there may be so much damning information that it's just not possible. I believe she's the type of person that's the prime candidate for falling into a cult, because she didn't have that stability in her background. And one person, I believe her father, somewhat kidnapped her from the Cox family, and said a lot of things to her that she wasn't able to understand at that age. And probably a lot of those were lies. So, and then when she visited her father and their family, they had a lot of things they wanted to tell her about and kind of try to keep her out of danger. So her background is definitely not a solid foundation that a child would hopefully receive. So we'll look at how much she was a part of this, and how much that Lori possibly just manipulated and sucked her in, and being naive is a big part of being overwhelmed with the cult, and with them telling you how wonderful you are, how amazing, how much power you have, and saying things like, you know, God's called you to lead. And then I noticed toward the end when they were talking about, okay, once they get all these people together kind of on, I would call it a compound, you know, how are they going to have money? And the comment was made, Melanie Boudreaux will have plenty of money, or I believe that she was Melanie Pulowski. And I thought, oh my goodness, she is wanting the huge life insurance payout from Alex killing Brandon Boudreaux. So fortunately he missed a couple of shots. But that's kind of our debriefing, looking a little bit ahead. I was busy at the flower market today, and I only had like 5 minis because the flowers are just now bursting forth. And I can't wait to show you that. I forgot to take pictures as soon as I was almost set up. Just one person came and bought them for their church for Mother's Day. So that was very exciting. I'm trying to keep the price really affordable, because that's just part of who I am. And if they don't sell, we'll be donating them nursing homes and local places. I'm very excited. Actually, I'm more excited about donating than possibly selling some. But when the sunflowers come and the dahlias come, there's going to be a lot of flowers, and I'll show you that as we go. You guys, I'm thankful for you, and we'll walk this walk together and support each other. And if you haven't subscribed and you enjoy this type of comment, please do. I'm not going to beg anybody to like or subscribe, but I did think I would throw that idea out there, because it shows on, I don't know all of this YouTube stuff, I'm just learning, but there's an app that shows that 90-something% of people that view it are not subscribers, like all these unique viewers, and that's incredible. And I might not be, or our community might not be quite the place that they want to participate. So it may be that way. And I'll just come back and bring you content. And if you're interested, we'll continue. Thank you guys. Have a good one.